So I know people haven't really been that excited as of late with price. Yes, people got really excited and euphoric around $1.30, but now people have kind of fallen back into the doldrums at like 86 cents. But it truly amazes me how much on trend ADA is with what we did last market cycle. People have complained that we're not at an all-time high yet. We're one of the few that aren't, but we're actually doing exactly what we did last cycle right before ADA went on its big boom. And there's a couple things I need to show you guys. This is quite wild. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So this connection with last cycle is really something. All right. And I think, again, this has to do with the level of conviction from holders, the quote unquote cult type mentality, right? But it's what's helped propel ADA to some very nice prices so far. It's the reason why the Cardano ecosystem is gaining a lot of traction, seeing a lot of growth in terms of development. And it's probably the reason that later on in the market cycle, we're going to see big Cardano adoption. And I'll get to that kind of later on in this video. But, we've looked at a couple things from the ADA price standpoint, again, following a very similar trend to back here in 2020, right before we had our emergence and our breakout leading into 2021. And we're kind of waiting for that second throwback towards our trend line here. And understand that this may take just a little bit of time to get here. Frankly, we may not see this until like February. All right. Now, this isn't a guarantee or financial advice or anything like that. And I want to show you guys exactly what I mean by this. And what we would actually see then come about February 1 is about $1.50 or so. All right. Now, why I'm saying that this specific number is if we look at BTC, the ADA BTC chart, we can see actually a very similar trend playing out here to back in 2020, leading into 2021 as well. And that is ADA looking at breaking its downtrend versus BTC. So you guys can see that we actually had a very similar structure in both of these market cycles. There's two times we came up, we tested this, got rejected, came down, and then finally had a breakout and an emergence here all the way at the start of February in 2021. As alts were really gaining ground, we entered kind of up only season, and assets went on just insane runs at the time. All right. So ADA has now come back up. We obviously tested this trend. We came back down. We consolidated. And we're sitting at about 900 sats or so right now, which is actually kind of a perfect consolidation range for ADA right before it tries to make its run. And what's interesting about this is if we get a similar throwback to what we saw back here in 2021, then that would lead us to February 1st being at about 1,300 sats in terms of ADA. Now, why this is important is about February 1st, I would expect to see some again, new institutional buying is going to come online to enter 2025. I don't think people are aware of that. There are some new approvals that are coming for spot Bitcoin ETFs, meaning that there's going to be this accumulation that's taking place once again. Obviously, the year following the halving brings a lot of excitement. Q1 tends to be really good in terms of not just BTC, but alts in general, or the market in general. And if BTC is able to run actually to about 120K, which would not surprise me by February 1st, us being at that price. This isn't a guarantee or financial advice or anything like that. But 1,300 sats then would put us at about $1.56 in terms of ADA. And what's coincidental about this is actually if we look back at our trends and our what we were expecting running into the new year, you guys can see that that is very much on trend with where we expected to be from a price standpoint. In fact, when we look at February 1 here, $1.56 puts us actually right about here. The perfect time frame for us to get to those prices. Now understand, and people might say, oh my gosh, only $1.56. We were just at $1.30. What you need to understand is that, that's almost 100% move from where we're at currently. And you get the most volatile wicks on these prices as we're going to close in on, March, April, May, right? You spend very little time at the top. For example, if we take a look at this wick that happened all the way back here on December 3rd, right? For the most part, that daily candle was down around $1.20 and the wick was up to $1.30. Same thing right up here. As we approach, $3 and a new all-time high, frankly, you could get a wick from like $3.20 all the way up to $4 and retrace it all the way back down. That's what happens when you have these very limited amounts of supplies, very low liquidity in some of these upper levels. I think people forget that, a 10% move where we're at currently is about 8 cents, right? A 10% move up in these ranges is about 30 cents. Okay. Prices are going to move faster. It's not an uncommon thing. Even like a 2% move, guys, that's what at $3, that's a Is that right? 6 cents move? Yeah, 6 cent move, right? Which today would be a 10% move. Hopefully that makes sense, right? And hopefully I'm not boring anybody with that. But understand that yes, we got to get through the last of this year. It's not going to be straight up and to the right. There's going to be volatile moves. Maybe we make a throwback here, ADA towards like $1.30 and come back down and correct near like $1.15 or so again. But we understand we just need to be patient. There's a process for this. It all takes time. I will say it looks like ADA. I know some people are talking about us coming back down, but it looks like ADA BTC is bottom. We had a perfect breakout of our descending wedge that we were in here. And now in our broadening descending wedge, we're just again waiting for that breakout, one that again is going to lead us towards these insane surges to the upside like we've seen in the past. Now this, I almost forgot this. Now this brings me to late 2025. Understand this, right? The start of 2025 is going to probably play out like a normal market cycle. All right, $8 to $3 to $4 range by March, April, May. Wouldn't surprise me at all. That's kind of a normal thing. And that's kind of exactly what we saw last year, right? Then ADA BTC kind of slowed down, leveled out. And then it wasn't until later in the year that we got that big surge that pushed ADA from basically like $1 or so up towards $3. That is the wick that we see big Cardano adoption take place. Big DeFi adoption happens much more in the latter part of the year following the halving than in the early part of the year. Basically, this first 3 months or so, guys, is going to be essentially an extension of what we saw at the latter part of this year. All right. And what I mean by that is it's going to be a lot of capital that's parked on the sideline, re-entering the space. It's going to be some new users or some new viewers, some new adopters that have been kind of watching from the sidelines start to ape in. And then the last wick is when you start to see big surges in new retail holders, right? And then eventually you start to see that transition over to DeFi. Okay. Hopefully I didn't lose anybody along the way, but DeFi moves are later market moves. That is where, again, I expect to see big Cardano on-chain adoption. That's where by that time, we're going to have some sort of idea how the Cardano blockchain will be used within governments here at home, abroad. Enterprises will really be in the space in a big way by that point. And again, guys, this is just how adoption of tech works. We're getting into the point now where we are going to see that adoption in a big way. And luckily, again, Cardano is prepared for this. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts. It's wild how much ADA is following what it's done historically speaking. And that gives me a lot of confidence as we head into these first few months of 2025. So have a great day. Show your love below. Let me know your thoughts. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.